I am a fourth-year finance major, and this past year I had the opportunity to study abroad in London last year fall, and this summer in China, where I was interning in both places. So just to give you a little background, couple stories, I guess. So when I made the decision to study abroad, it came from this idea of being around these great business students and just really trying to stand out. I knew I was different, I was funny, I was sort of cute and stuff, but, I really didn't see how I could really stand out to an employer, like what really would make me different from an employer. And I remember it was freshman year, Lucy came to, I think, Warrington Welcome or one of those jazzy classes, and I remember her talking about studying abroad. I remember looking at my degree audit, internship, study abroad, whichever one, you meet that, you can graduate. And then she talked about this program, UF in London, and you can intern. It's like, I'll be pretty bad if I do both. So I'm like, okay, I could do both. So I decided to study abroad in London. $18,000 budget program. Where was the money coming from? Not sure. But I really wanted to study abroad, and I felt like, if I study abroad, I can really, find that way to stand out. So the next problem came telling my family. I remember this day like it was yesterday. I was actually walking from the Wrights, between McCarty and the Hub, the little sidewalk right there. Okay. So I'm walking, call my grandma, to answer. Hello? Hey, Grandma. What's wrong? Nothing. What? I just couldn't even say it. It's like, what's wrong? You pregnant? I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. No. And I was like, I think I'm gonna study abroad in London. What? What? Study abroad for what? Like, what you want? What's your? I think she asked me, what's your major again? I said finance. What you need to go abroad for? You can do everything in America. And I'm like, not really. She was like, I said if you was a judge, you can go over there. A judge? What? Why do judges need to go abroad? And I just didn't understand it. I was like, yeah, but I still want to study abroad. And the next question was, well, baby, I can't help you. How you gonna pay for it? Like, well, I think I'm gonna take out some loans, apply for some scholarships and things of that nature. And she was just like, oh, okay, well, I'll support you, but I don't know where the money's gonna come from. I was like, oh, it's okay, it's all right. I'm gonna find a way to $18,000. I'll find it the legal way. And a lot of my family, I told them, and I remember them saying the same thing, like, oh my gosh, you're gonna get taken, we don't have anyone in the family that can come over there and save you. I grew up in a place, I'm from Miami, and my thing is, if there are people walking around that are eating faces, like, I think I would be okay in another country, like, hello. But anyways, so I decided to study abroad, found the money to study abroad, got the money for it, and so it was magic after that. Okay, Grandma. Okay. So I remember getting my first day in London, so caught the flight there, first day in London, have these huge bags. I was cheap and didn't want to get a taxi. So I was walking around London with this weird pavement, worse than out there, and with 2 suitcases, and it was terrible. But I got to my residence, unpacked, went back out because you had to check in, register, all this jazzy stuff. So I got hungry, right? And I didn't know where to go exactly. So I saw this nice looking building, and as you may imagine, it was Burger King. And I remember walking in, I was like looking at the menu, I'm like, $4.90. Oh, $10. You know what I can get for $10 in America? A whole one meal, $10. That drove me nuts. So I got the cheapest meal, which is probably about $7 to $4.99. And I remember getting the meal. I'm like, where the rest of it is? Like, the food is not only more expensive in London, it's smaller portions. Like, what is this? Big size. Like, hello. Someone didn't get the memo. But anyways, but besides all of my fun meals at McDonald's and Burger King and all that jazzy stuff, I was eager to try everything I could in London. Like, I went to a Moroccan restaurant. I went to, I had pad thai there. Like, well, I was missing out on life for a long time, you know? And I had to go to London to just try different stuff because I went to Red Lobster in America and all I would eat is chicken tenders and fries. So you can take me to any restaurant, I'm looking for chicken tenders and fries. That changed when I went to London, which is good, so. But yeah, that experience in London was great. And so, one thing about studying abroad, you really get this itch to travel. Like, you just start itching, literally. And week after week, I want to go here, I want to go there. And don't let a friend tell you where they just came from. Oh, I got to go there, and I got to do more things than you. You know, it's terrible. So I went to different places, traveled abroad. And then the funny thing is, I remember actually calling Jason one night during Skype. And I was like, Jason, I think I want to study abroad in China next semester when I get back in the summer. And I think I'm really, really interested in the retail tour program. And, you know, I can go to different businesses. I can get another way of looking for a competitive advantage. Go to different businesses. I get this opportunity to do, you know, haggling. They have a whole game. Have you guys heard of the retail tour?
Yes.
Okay, so you do like some type of haggling game. You try to get the best prices for items and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, who can do that? I can do that. Sounds cool. And I remember talking to Jason. I was like, Jason, I really want to do this. I really want to study abroad in China and everything like that. But I don't think it fits my schedule because I think you have to take like a 2-credit class or something, a 4-credit class or something like that in the spring. It's like, it doesn't fit. I don't know if I can do it. It's like, well, Latrice, there's this option for you to, he doesn't talk like this, of course, but he was like, well, there's this option for you to actually teach in China. I'm like, whoa, teach in China? I can't do that. You crazy? I'm gonna mess up somebody's life. Like, I can't have that responsibility. And like, no, I really think you'll be great for it. Yeah, there's a lot of great things about you. You know, I could really see you doing well in this program. I'm like, well, I think about it. I'm looking more into it and see what's up with that. And I don't know. I really just started to build that confidence after a while. I think it was after living with a British family, after going to Ireland all on my own and experiencing that culture and just doing different things in London, I started to say that I probably could do this. And by the end of my trip in London, I decided that I would study abroad and teach in China. Okay. But it really turned out great. Like, it was probably, like Jennifer says, like the greatest experience. I came back a straight up leader. Like, you need help with that? I can help you. Let's do this. Like, it just came, you know, natural. I was just ready to do things. And in Actors, I started my own project. I don't know, are you guys familiar with SIFE or now in Actors? Okay, so cool. And I led my own project. I feel like it's turning out really well. And it's all based on managing. Like, some people may not see that connection that, you know, teaching in China, you don't want to be a teacher. But no, I managed a class. I learned how to communicate with people. Like, I don't speak Mandarin, like, but I think I did pretty good over there, you know. And they're just the relationships I built with the students. As you can see, this is actually one of my students. His English name is Beaver. You know, he was I know teachers shouldn't have favorites, but hey, I have a couple favorites, and he was one of my favorites. And just eating lunch with him, you know, they really wanted to meet with you for lunch so they could practice their English. It's like, oh, I want to practice my English. Like, I want to practice my Chinese. So we got this together, you know, and just building great relationships with them. But I'll close with this last story I really want to share with you. And it was about the singing competition we had. And so students were not forced, but forced to participate in the singing competition. And my students they did well. They went through the first competition, boom, won. Okay, like, oh yeah. And then second competition, they won, boom, yeah, oh yeah, you know. And then the second competition, the person that was over me, like my boss, the coordinator, she came to me and she said, they're bad. They don't know how to sing right. They need to change everything. And I was like, that's not good. And they were working hard. They really went, like, try their best to do well. And I remember being in class, and it's just like, put you in this perspective. So over here, we just finished our lecture or whatever, and I just heard some weird noise, and I'm just like, somebody throwing up, like, what's going on? And then I look over there, and like, say you were one of my students with the green shirt. I'm not sure what your name is.
James.
James, you were my student in China, James, and you pretend you're crying. Cry. Right. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, oh my gosh, I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, how do you handle this? Like, you up and teach me this? So I'm like, okay, so after class I went over. So I think about 10 minutes later. Okay? He was like, he's mad. I'm like, why is he mad? And I remember him saying, she wants us, because she said it in Chinese, you know, I don't speak Chinese, so I didn't understand what she was saying. So, okay. And they were telling me he's mad because she wants us to change our song and change everything about our presentation, right? Ensemble, right. And they just really didn't like that. And I remember sitting down, whatever I learned in high school and in college, and you know, I remember them standing up like, you know, I'm not sure what that is, but I remember them standing up and like talking back to her and looking at her eyes. I'm like, I don't think they were supposed to do that. They're supposed to look down. I just didn't even know. I was just shocked. I didn't know they were like so open to, you know, talk back. So I was another culture shock. I'm just like, oh snap, something finna go down. And everything calmed down once she left. And I remember talking to them, I'm like, so do you guys care if you win? And they were like, no. And I was just like, well, there it is. Like, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna meet after class. We're gonna work on your English. The singing competition, they were singing in English. And I was like, we're gonna work on your English. We're gonna make this presentation. We're gonna do good. We're gonna work hard. I had to give them a pep talk about when people told me that I couldn't do whatever I was gonna do. People told me I was gonna get into UF. I got into UF with a full scholarship. Like, people will tell you can't do things, but you can do it. You put in the effort for it. And I don't know if that pepped them up. I felt like I was in a Disney movie, and I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go. And so we turned out, and they won the entire competition. They beat everybody. They did an amazing job. Like, I was just like, yeah. And at the end, I remember, like, the competition was like the O'Connell Center. Like, it was 20,000 people plus watching them, right? And they did a little thing, and at the end, I was like, oh, I think we won. 'Cause it was like two people left, and it was like first place. I'm like, ah! And he was like, can you go up there with me? One of my students that did the thing, and I ran on there with him. He was like, yeah, you did that. And I was just so happy. I was so impressed. It was just like, people will always tell you can't do something, but if you work hard, you can do whatever you want to. And that fire that they had really made me much more, you know, hungry or confident and to do whatever I wanted to do, and thus also helped me stand out. Recently, I just accepted an offer from GE, and I am like, first of all, I'm really happy that I got a job and I don't got to worry about nothing else next semester. But secondly, I feel like I have accomplished a lot, and I feel like studying abroad was that first step towards me standing out in front of employers, in front of other people that may not have the confidence to, and things of that nature. So that is all. Yes.